Welcome back to episode 38 of our Travel Vietnam series, where we adventure through the highlands and south central coast of this beautiful country by motorbike. In the last episode, we had such a blast exploring the perfect blend of natural landscapes and coastal vibes of Phú Yên. And for today, we'll keep heading north to hit up the province of Bình Định, where we'll get to introduce to you the renowned beach city of Quy Nhơn. However, because this city is another big one that not only has outstanding scenery, but also stories and history that can enhance everyone's travel experience, we decided to dive deeply into every nook and cranny and split our adventure into 2 episodes.
Madi, you are taking forever.
I'm trying to go as fast as I can.
Today's episode will be about our first day exploring all the natural landscapes.
Oh, there's another sign over there. We're going in the right direction.
Also, elderly people believe that if you drink the water, you will be blessed.
And the next episode will be about the historical and cultural sites we'll explore on the second day. Now, before embarking on today's adventure, please help support us by liking this video and subscribing to our channel so we can continue taking you around Vietnam with us. Now, let's head to Bình Định.
It's been 18 days since we started the scooter adventure from Ho Chi Minh City. The mileage we've racked up is 1,515 kilometers to go through 7 provinces. From the island we left off in the last province, we will have to scoot another 200 kilometers to arrive at the hotel for tonight's stay, along with 9 other different spots we'll explore in the next province, Bình Định.
Now we're heading to the province of Bình Định. And the only place, the only city that stands out the most and that makes us want to stay for the night or a few nights is Quy Nhơn. We are so excited to go see what it is all about and why people just kept saying that Quy Nhön's beaches are some of the most beautiful beaches throughout the entire country. Now we are still 53 minutes out. And the distance is pretty up there, like 41 kilometers, and we're not going to be able to be there until like 5:40 in the afternoon. But whatever it might be, like it's been like a hot day for us already. We've been sweating a lot, but now it's no longer sunny, it's no longer hot, and we are really appreciative of how cool the weather is right now. And so we're gonna be able to enjoy the ride.
I have found the silver lining. This is what I deal with, you guys. Can't say anything, man. Until the cows come home. Look at the sea.
And the rainbow.
There is no rainbow.
A faint one. We have a situation here.
2 slow trucks passing each other.
Yep.
Oh my god.
And we have
A bus
a bus, a big coach that is coming on the opposite side.
Luckily it wasn't barreling through.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Man, it's getting dark kinda fast, so I gotta pass this truck. By the way, this route is just another spectacle that deserves your time. Too bad we're not here at the right moment.
You can kind of see the city in the distance.
Yeah, that's right. That's the city of Quy Nhơn.
All right, so you know how you asked me, well, you said that I could technically walk from here to Da Nang?
Yeah.
Bet.
Bye, Madi.
No. I know you can drive off. I'm kidding. I was joking.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
The city is so different. Like the coastal line along the city is so different compared to how it is and how it's lit up at night in Nha Trang, eh? And it's like really open. Doesn't have a lot of like high rises or like tall buildings on the left, but then the roads are like way bigger and wider, and then the breeze that is coming in from the sea is so obvious. That's why you don't feel cramped and smothered.
Exactly, I feel the same way. Man, this promenade is long. There's a volleyball game, a soccer game, another volleyball game. Oh, there's a hotel by the beach. 2 hotels.
Our strategy to find a reasonable hotel room for the night is to check out what we see in person as long as it has a favorable location. Believe it or not, in some locations throughout Vietnam, hotel prices are through the roof that you don't want to book online, especially when you choose a popular weekend getaway spot among Vietnamese tourists. However, you can definitely go into any hotel you deem good, ask, and negotiate if you're like us, traveling on a budget. Tonight's a Sunday night, so our chance of success is high because people are going home for work tomorrow. After only 10 minutes of going to view a room all by myself, I came back to Madi with a pretty good result.
Do we have a window in the hotel room?
No,
No window.
that room is really cozy. It looks really nice and clean. The guy told me originally it was like 350, but he was willing to give us for 250.
Wow.
Having this location of the hotel here, and we'll be able to walk around this area just like how it was in Nha Trang.
We do have a window. It's small, but it's there.
Okay.
So I was just checking out the hotel room, right? I totally missed this walking in, and I think you missed it too, didn't you?
What the hell is that thing?
It's like big, giant. It's a sprinkler for water in case of fire. How soft is the bed? Let's see. Oh, it's pretty soft. After settling in and washing up, we walked to this restaurant for dinner, which is literally right next door to our hotel. It is now 7 o'clock and we are finally eating dinner. So we didn't have lunch, but we did have a few snacks during our trip here. We had some bread, and then we also had those little choco pies. So both of us right now are absolutely starving. Deciding to go pescatarian for this meal, we ordered some stir-fried water morning glory, some fried tofu, and a big plate of fried rice with seafood. We got a few tiny, tiny shrimp in here. And that's the only seafood I see. Maybe there is some little squids too. Who knows? And the evening can't end without a walk along the beach.
We've been walking on this promenade of the park along the beach. And honestly, the way that park here is just next to the beach, but at the same time, being so large and having this promenade for you to walk along the beach and along the shoreline, that is awesome. It's much better than how it is in Nha Trang, right?
I have to agree. I like how there's more things to do on the beach as well. We have the soccer field set up, and then there's also a volleyball court set up as well. And on the left side, it's not just hotels, but also businesses, restaurants, and other things that are open for people to walk over, grab some food, and bring it over here. It's just so nice.
Frankly speaking, everything here is pretty lively in its own way, as it's not seething with foreign tourists like in Nha Trang. But this beach, like I said before, has a lot of sport and exercise activities, which makes it very pleasurable to experience.
See the little white thing? He's running so fast. The sand is so fine. Walking on it, it feels amazing. Guess what time it is?
Almost 11.
Okay, but then what's the other term?
Late.
What are we gonna go get?
Brunch.
It's brunch time. That's what I wanted. All right, so we go into this restaurant. David found it, and then there's a coffee shop right there. So we can get coffee too. That looks good. I really like how they have the noodles in one of these clay pots because it keeps it warm for longer.
The reason that this whole thing is still boiling is because we can use its heat or its warmth to cook up all of the green bitter leaves here.
These fat noodles really soak up like the flavor in the broth, and it becomes so rich and delicious so long as the broth is really good. And then I love how these bitter leaves just add another depth of the flavor. If I don't have these in my fat noodles, I feel like something's missing.
After brunch, we're headed to a beach within the city's vicinity that attracts tourists with its special story and these funky rocks. To help us understand more about the city and its landscapes, on our way, we learned that as of 2024, Bình province has an area of approximately 6,000 square kilometers and is home to 1.5 million people. Along with 2 towns and 8 districts, Quy Nhơn is the only city within the province which only takes up 5% of the area but has 19% of the province's population. That's why it looks a little tight with the lots of buildings and people here. However, most of the province's outstanding tourist spots are here. The city has a unique blend of natural beauty, historical as well as cultural sites, and modern amenities. We'll unfold short and sweet information when we hit up each spot, but for now, look at this fabulous view to have a general sense of what it's like. The entire city is nestled by mountains mostly on the left and Quy Nhơn Bay on the right. Most people come here to relax at this beach as it stretches about 5 kilometers and is recognized for its clear waters, gentle waves, and scenic views. The massive water body you see right here is a lagoon called Pristine, which contributes largely to the unique landscapes and economy of the city. The place that has many of the beach destinations is this peninsula called Phương. And once again, you'll know more when we reach these spots later in this video.
Alrighty, back to today's first spot, the beach with the funky rocks. It's located on the coastal side of this mountain called Xuân Vân, being only 4 kilometers away from where we are. It's almost noon, but isn't as hot today. With the sky being a little cloudy, we really enjoyed the short ride before hitting our first spot.
You gotta kind of hold on at the back here. Something happened in 1991 here.
It was ranked nationally in 1991 as one of the most beautiful tourist spots in Vietnam.
Wow.
Our first spot in Quy Nhơn.
Well, it looks like there is a way down over here, so I think that's where we're gonna head to first before climbing any higher. I like how you can see part of the sea in between the palm trees.
I'm getting to understand a little bit more as to why this place is called one of the most worth visiting places in Quy Nhơn. Remember, like yesterday in the province of Phú Yên, we visited that part of the seashore where it is made of many weird looking or funky looking slabs or columns of stones and rocks. This time here at this beach, all of the stones or rocks down there are totally different. So they're just like pebbles, but they're bigger.
Bye, Felicia.
We have an epitaph here. Located on the Ráng hill, a national landmark is the beautiful Hoàng Hậu Beach. Legend has it that Hoàng Hậu Beach was chosen by Queen Nam Phương, wife of the last king of Vietnam, Bảo Đại, as the perfect place to take a rest from their royal duties. A natural feature of the beach is the smoothly round stones, like giant bird's eggs, which nature has arranged to resemble together, thus earning its name Stone Egg Beach. Ooh.
Now I see why people took their slippers off. I'm gonna take mine off too. Not to mention that there are little critters hiding in between the stones. I don't want my toes bit off. How did you get over there so fast?
Whoa, that's slippery. Here we're seeing a lot of the creatures that I don't know. Oh, we have a pufferfish.
I'm struggling, man. I'm not as agile as you. I am not taking any risks, okay?
Madi, you are taking forever.
I'm trying to go as fast as I can. Move that one. Oh, there's a crab.
He's been around to eat this fish, puffer fish. It probably got washed ashore, and when it was like stuck up here in all of the stones and rocks, it couldn't swim back down into the sea.
Could not escape his fate of being crab food.
It's dead. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Eating my hat. Whereas David likes to argue with me, a cap. I hate the word cap. I really do. Oh, nope. That's not a good rock.
Walking on these stones is pretty fun. The area that has all of the egg-shaped stones is neither long or large, though it's a perfect place to aim for this kind of shots.
I have to admit, for me climbing over here, I made decent time. Like, it took me maybe a minute or two to go from where David's at over to here. Safely though. I was crawling on all fours at one point, but that's okay. Doesn't matter how embarrassing it might look. But better safe than sorry.
By the way, Queen's Beach is only a small part of what people come here for. The tourist area is called Ghềnh Ráng Tiên Sa. The first part, Ghềnh Ráng, is what the edge of Xuân Vân Mountain is called. The name is based on the nature of the actual terrain. With the rocky outcrops of the mountain, the rapids in the water made boats struggle when passing by, so they named it like that. The second part, Tiên Sa, stems from a legend of a beautiful girl who disappeared magically when being chased by soldiers to this mountain. They chased to catch her so she could be an officer's wife, yet her heart already belonged to a young guy. She was believed to transform into a fairy and later took the guy she loved so they could be together in a world where no one could separate them.
I've made it pretty far. Took me a while, but it looks pretty cool from here. You can see the city a little bit better. But look it, the city is so beautiful.
Due to the serene and scenic views from this mountain, a few past figures set foot on this land and subsequently added more reputation and history to it. Along with King Bảo Đại and Queen Nam Phương first visiting this place in 1927 and later turning it into a retreat, one of the most renowned poets in Vietnamese literature also came here, worked, and took his last breath because of leprosy. In my opinion, every Vietnamese has heard his name growing up, and that's how famous he is. A large number of his fans these days have heard some or maybe all of the famous songs based on his poems, yet written by notably revered composers to keep his legacy alive and accessible. Born in 1912 in Quảng Bình province, he grew up in a family that valued education and culture, which influenced him to become passionate about writing and poetry at the age of 16. Only having over 10 years to write and passing away at the age of 28 in 1940, he left behind about 200 pieces of poetry, manuscript, and prose imbued with his innovative use of language, blending traditional forms with modernist elements. Most pieces are about human emotions of love, existential reflection, and intense suffering, expressed surreally in the imagery of nature like the moon. Sounds really melancholic, right? That's why even though known as the pioneer of Vietnam's new poetry movement, he embedded his madness and genius in his art, largely talking about his love feelings. This makes a lot of sense because back then, people cared intensely about poems and literature to the point that they narrated their emotions through this means of communication.
His love life, though, was insanely awful. The first two loves were unreciprocated, giving rise to quite a few outstanding poems. And when he thought he finally found the one of his life, Han Mac Tư was diagnosed with leprosy in 1935. This disease at the time was deadly, causing him both immense physical pain and social isolation due to the stigma associated with it. During this difficult time, his deepest love, Mom Gum, left him for her marriage, causing a shift in his poetic style to themes of suffering and existentialism. Many pieces of his stunning writing were born to express his sorrow. This event was later used to turn into musical forms admired by many people nowadays. But the misery of his love life didn't just stop there. 1 year later, the fourth came as a big fan of his work, and this lady was also forced by her parents to leave him and got married to someone else. This, of course, didn't stop him from writing. The more he wrote, the more famous he became. He was corresponding with letters and poems with the last lady he never met before the disease forced him to go to a leper colony called Quy Nhơn on the side of this mountain. He was there for over 2 months to get treatment while riding until taking his last breath in a room which later turned into a memorial house for him. There, they display his manuscripts, personal items, and information that help people understand more about the context of his work. The tranquil village and beautiful French architecture of the leper buildings and the stunning beach are the other reasons people visit this area. Well, this beach has been pretty prominent for people to go relax and take stunning photos too. Back to this mountain. Look at the view at the top and you'll know why tourists are willing to take over 2,000 steps to get up here. The path was made and has been maintained by Catholic people. And the best time to come up here is around sunset and sunrise. You see the furthest mountain across the city over there? It's called Bahua, which has another wonderful view of the city and its bay. These mountains are perfect for trekking enthusiasts and people who seek out more outdoor activities besides going to the beach.
Here it is pretty warm right now, and wearing the jacket, it's making me sweat a lot more.
So nowadays, people not only come here to visit all of the beaches to see how beautiful they are, but also his grave because of how famous and how talented as a poet he was.
After Ráng with all of the information that made us enjoy the place more, we're now back on the road to head towards Peninsula Lagoon. We're going there to see a marsh suggested on Google.
See the city now, and then we also have some fishing boats.
Everyone knows lagoons are formed where fresh water from rivers meets and mixes with seawater from the ocean. This massive one takes the water not only from one river, but two, the Cone and Hatang rivers, having brought this estuary an insane amount of sediment over time. Spanning an area of around 5,000 hectares, Peninsula Lagoon is one of the largest in Vietnam, being a unique habitat for various aquatic species and supporting local fishing and aquaculture. In the past, it was a great defensive location for Champa Kingdom that was said to exist from 192 to 1832 through a record of 14 different dynasties. They had 5 different small kingdoms similar to how we have provinces and states these days. This one right here is called Vijaya and was the capital, occupying the entire province of Bình Định and some other nearby areas. That's why in this province, not only did they have this lagoon as a strategic defensive zone to protect the capital, but they also built a citadel, which we'll go explore tomorrow. This lagoon though was the fierce battlefield of many combats, with the 2 most important ones being the Champa Vietnamese War, when King Lê Thánh Tông launched an attack on the Champa Kingdom and successfully captured the capital in 1471. And another naval battle in 1801 when Nguyễn Ánh and his army won against part of Daejeon rebellion to unify Vietnam under the Nguyen dynasty. There are many other fights that we can't touch upon in this video, but the point is that this lagoon's current look, no matter what happened in the past, shows no sign of wars, but of nature's evolution and beauty.
The existence of this water body also gave rise to many other things that attract tourists. The bridge we're on now, for example, is called Thi Nai Bridge, connecting the city with Phương Mai Peninsula. It was opened to traffic in 2006 and was a major milestone in the region's infrastructure development. At the time of its completion, it was the longest sea-crossing bridge in Vietnam, stretching 2.5 kilometers, and it significantly improved transportation and economic development in this area.
What would you call it?
A regular bridge.
A pillar bridge?
A regular cement bridge.
Land bridge?
Huh?
No. There's a specific term for it. I learned it in 8th grade, but now I don't remember.
They also have a bird islet in the lagoon, and it's where we're headed to right now. Navigation says we're here, but it doesn't look like it's even a marshland, what I would consider a marshland in my head. Unfortunately, we couldn't experience this ecotourism area in person because directions to this place were not clear at all. We somehow got very close with our scooter, but since the whole place looks like this, the only way to get around is by boat. That's why you need to ask Google Maps for this specific location on the screen in Vietnamese. Then you can get on a boat to venture around this pretty amazing tourist area. What makes it amazing is the serenity of the landscapes, the freshness of the air, and the simplicity of the local activities. You can come here to buy seafood because not only is it cheap, but it's also of high quality since fishing is the main job of thousands of people in this area. When the tide's high, people go for fish and crabs because the waters are deep in the lagoon. And when the water already subsided, they go forage for shellfish like clams and mussels deep in the mud. The most interesting thing that attracts many to this area is a unique opportunity to go birdwatching. Particularly during migratory seasons, you can observe so many types of avian life in this natural habitat. Visitors can do guided tours, boat trips, and paddleboarding in this serene environment and rich biodiversity of the lagoon. Next time, when here, we're definitely going to experience this area in person.
We're circling back out to head to the next destination, Dry Island. And the reason that Madi picked this place was because she believed that there was a conservation area of sea turtles.
I also really do hope to swim with sea turtles. Like, that would be a once-in-a-lifetime experience similar to sea walking, right? If I could snorkel and swim with sea turtles, I will be like on top of the world, man.
My navigation system has that satellite view, and from the satellite you can see that this whole thing is of sand. It's so white and abandoned and being so underdeveloped.
We have found another construction area. Why do we always ride through construction areas, huh?
Because we are in a developing country.
Always on an adventure. By the way, by seeing the bus and some other scooters coming down, makes me think we're on the right track. And once we came up over the ridge, we saw the sea once again.
That island is really floating on its own.
It looks like there's also a natural land bridge going to it.
This area is called Nhon. I think it's now my time to use my most natural ability of being a native speaker of Vietnamese. To go ask. So as we were riding through this area, there was a lady. I think she's of a business that can deliver people to that island over there, Dry Island. You can't really like walk there or anything. You have to use a boat. And the facade that we are seeing right now doesn't seem to have a lot of things going on. But if we rent a boat, not only that we can get to the island, but we can actually go snorkeling to see the coral reefs. But the coral reefs are not that beautiful and colorful right now because the lady said that the water was not that clear.
All right, but what about sea turtles?
The sea turtle conservation area that Madi found online is not an actual facility here. Too bad, she can't swim with the creatures today. However, this entire village is interestingly known to be an egg-laying haven for green turtles, an endangered species whose population has decreased by 90% over the past 50 years in the world. From the beginning to mid-July this year, this village's community organization has recorded a total of 5 nesting grounds with more than 400 laid eggs. Some of the events were eyewitnessed by many of the locals here. The people here are very aware of how rare these moments are, as female turtles can only breed every 3 to 4 years, so it's crucial to come help them. The number of eggs a mama turtle can lay varies from 75 to 200 eggs, all covered in a hole with sand. After her role is complete, she leaves her eggs to fend for themselves. So the primary job of the people here is to help as many eggs hatch as possible. Then they will also make sure the young turtles reach the sea, as they are very susceptible to predators like birds and other mammals.
We really love the shape of the village and the landscapes here. However, it might be difficult to attract foreign tourists to come here as they don't have proper facilities or touring varieties to promote the place. Ho Island, although adds up to the place's natural beauty, it doesn't have a whole lot of activities that people can do here. The island is rugged for the most part, but its edges might be an interesting place to go explore. Many Vietnamese visitors come here to snorkel, walk around, and catch seafood with local fishermen. But these things are not enough to make the place as appealing as many other stunning locations in the country to foreigners, which brings me to the last point. If you're adventurous and want to reach places that are off the beaten path, you can come here for photo opportunities and discoveries of this lovely fishing village. Hopefully, you can see some turtles when being here. Where on earth are you taking us?
Through a desert of sand.
After Nhon village, we're now heading to see the rest of Phương Mai Peninsula, and all of the other spots are located on this side. It only took us around 10 minutes to reach the area, and the first spot we saw is Gheghaw Beach. It's a popular tourist area in Quy Nhơn city with a pristine beach known for its crystal clear waters and stunning white sandy shores, all nestled by the mountain and rock cliffs. With better facilities compared to the last beach we went, tourists can enjoy many water activities and relax in the scenic, tranquil environment. The best time to visit Gheghaw Beach is from February to August, when the weather is most favorable for outdoor activities. The entrance tickets is 120,000 for an adult, and since the beach is 3 kilometers from the entrance, you can use the shuttle service and pay 50,000 each way for it, or you can hike down to it. Oh yeah, you can also stay in the resort here, but just a heads up, the prices are quite up there as a room can cost from 1.5 mil to 3.5 mil for one night. But it's a catch for people who just need a quick escape from their normality, considering how beautiful and relaxing the beach here is. In our case, we'll pass this one because a camping site on the beach is where we're heading next sounds more appealing to us. Plus, we don't have to spend a damn there.
See ya, this is free!
It's so peaceful. The beach is really clean and the sand looks really fine.
I am in love with the mixture of like the tan sand and then the black sand coming and mixing in. Like that is stunning. Wow, look at the indentations. All right, let's step here. No black sand. Then there's black sand. I don't get it.
Why this part of the sand is so black? It's actually black.
Maybe it was burned?
And the layer is pretty thick too.
No idea. David, I kind of wish we would have brought our bathing suits. I totally want to chill out here all day long. I'm not even joking.
This part of the beach is located right next to Nhon Li commune and operated as a camping site that people can rent a tent to relax here on the beach overnight. But for a reason, today we don't see anyone enjoying the scenery here, except for some guys decluttering the area. So we have the entire place to ourselves.
This sand is so soft. Here, you can see the layer of tan sand, layer black, tan, black. Pretty cool. That's why when you dig down in the tan sand, you can see the black. But if we dig down far enough, you can get back to tan.
So the black sand is on every other layer.
Pretty much, marbled through. That's what I find pretty interesting. Like, how did it even get there in the first place?
Don't make your pants wet.
I already rolled them up, but you know what? I'm like ready to swim, even in my clothes.
They even built a wooden lookout up on the mountain to admire a much better view of the beach.
I'm glad you're going first to know if the boards are sturdy.
It is, for sure. This one is good.
I feel the tilt. Careful, I think these plants are thorny. You better be worth it, View. Maybe we should have worn our shoes today. A little impromptu hike. Almost there.
So many mosquitoes around here too.
Woo! Eat my dust. Made it.
This is for sure a much better view of this entire beach.
Careful coming up here. Pretty good place just to chill, and we didn't have to pay for nothing. We got Buddha over there and View over here.
The whole village here looks just as beautiful as the one on the other side we went to earlier. If that one lays its back on the mountains and overlooks the sea, then this village here has its sides embraced by the mountains while the beaches reside at the front and back. The waters here are just as blue and calm with more fishing boats anchoring around. The one thing I find consistent throughout Phung Mai Peninsula is the rugged look of the mountains and cliffs. Just look at this one. It almost looks like a giant natural containing wall that protects the village from the sea. Later, we'll take you to this part of the mountain to kind of see what this facade looks like. But for now, let's have a look at this side. Granted that you don't have sandy beaches wherever the rugged rock goes, but these areas can be a perfect place to go fishing.
David is running away because he was being eaten up by mosquitoes.
How does it feel to have the roles reversed?
It's really itchy with all of the bites.
All right. Go down and I'll meet you down there, okay?
Okay.
Too bad we can't stay longer for this view. It is such an amazing view. I am so glad that we had the opportunity to hike up here. It's stunning. Our last spot in this area today is called a wind strait or Eoza, one of a kind that you can only see in Quy Nhơn city. It's located on the other side of the mountain, so to get there, we need to cross the entire village with extremely small alleys like this. Google Maps, of course, doesn't work well here, but it can lead you up to a certain point. Then you need to ask the locals where to go next. The place we're headed is super famous, so the people here are used to being asked for directions. Plus, they're super friendly, so don't hesitate, or you'll end up losing lots of time because it looks like a maze to me. Finally made it to our next destination. We had to ask 2 to 3 different people for directions to this place. Anyhow, we're gonna get something to eat first before we walk around. And of course, we're gonna eat some rice. Legitimately seafood fried rice. It looks so good.
We need some energy in order to be fired up a little bit for being able to immerse ourselves in the beauty of this whole tourist spot here.
22,000 per ticket. For 2, 44,000.
Not bad at all. All right, let's meander. Whoa, look at the winding path. I like that.
So if we keep going straight, we're gonna hit the central area of the beach. It's really beautiful up here.
I like seeing all the rocks.
Yeah. All of the naturally shaped rocks and stones down there. We don't have a lot of sand along the seashore here. And then that rocky mountain over there.
Yeah.
The formations, the patterns of the rocks and the soil is so good.
This tourist area somewhat reminds us of the trail leading to the ancient coral reef in Ningpon province. And for a lot of people, the place looks similar, somewhat better than the Dragon Head rock on Jeju Island in Korea.
It's such a rich color.
If you chip a small piece off of this whole slab over here, I think you can use it as a piece of chalk.
Now, this area of Vietnam was developed in 2017, providing concrete paths with stairs so people can walk down and along the Rocky Mountains. The name Eoza or Wind Strait was given by the locals a long time ago due to its geology and geography. From afar, not only does the place look like a horse saddle, but also a funnel located between 2 high mountain peaks next to the sea. Hence, it always receives lots of strong wind. The best months to come here are from April to October because the sea is gonna be raging, bringing heavy rain and wind any other time. Eroded by strong wind blasts and high waves over time, crevices across the mountains have been formed, giving rise to towering cliffs and small caves along the way. For me, this entire mountain looks like a crocodile with its tail located on this side, marking the end of Phương Mai Peninsula. Visitors can also hike up to the top where they can capture the entire landscape of the village and its surroundings. And the existence of Ngọc Hoa Temple, with the largest structure of 2 back-to-back statues of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva in Vietnam, just adds more blessings to the place. Being 30 meters tall, one side faces the mountain while the other overlooks the sea, the 2 most valuable natural sources that can bring sustainability and prosperity to the people here.
So right now I'm walking from the shore area into this narrow rock area. Over here, you can literally see they have netting to prevent the rocks from falling on the people as they walk through. Gotta be careful. Still trying to master the steps here. I like to take my time, taking my baby steps, because I do not want to fall. Falling is like the last thing I want to do. Yeah, multitasking ain't my thing either. All right, talk and walk can't happen. But what we see here are some odd rock formations. I like the look of that one. That one looks kind of like a crown. All right, all right, all right. Let's wander that way. Meander that way if I can. I just gotta go over these treacherous rocks. Wish me luck. but I might end up needing all four limbs again, similar to the Queen's Beach. Let's just go. Confidence is key. If I can gain my confidence through these rocks. I think David applied the same technique because that's how he is able to like zoom through. He is so good at that. I hate it. My God, I can see a freaking cave over there. Oh, there's more caves over there. Okay, I can go that way. All right, I'll say I'm done here for now. I'm gonna see if I can beg David to go to the other set of caves that I saw. David. I have a huge favor to ask, okay? There's 3 caves. I saw 2 over there, and then 1 is over in that direction. But that one over there has more rocks, and it's actually around the bend, so it's actually more dangerous to get to that one. This one though, right as soon as you go around that bend over there, you can probably see them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So you know how at Queen's Beach, when I'm overly cautious with walking on those rocks, right? I tend to fall. Well, almost fall. I haven't fallen yet, thank God, but still. On those rocks, I was channeling that fisherman that was on those other rocks at Queen's Beach. And I was like, he walks so confidently and quickly. And that's something that you do too sometimes, right?
So what you're saying is that you've learned another idea of how to be confident. The confidence is actually coming from the gesture and the motion itself. If you pretend to be confident, then you'll walk on all of the stones, even rough paths confidently. But if you are nervous, you'll be clumsy on them.
Yeah, exactly. Sea caves, here we come, sea caves. This way is a lot easier than the other way to the other sea cave. To the other sea cave, it's like all of these giant rocks. No small ones, no tiny ones. Just giant ones that you have to like balance on. Whoa, this one's really cool. These rocks are so porous. Oh, there's another sign over there. We're going in the right direction.
That's what her excitement voice sounds like.
Oh, this one's so cool. These are huge.
That's the ferry well.
Yeah, but that's it.
So they built this retaining wall to catch all the water that comes down here, and this is where it's stored. Legend says thousands of years ago, there was a creek with that fresh water stream coming out all year round. The locals believe that this is the place that was given to them by God. Also, elderly people believe that if you drink the water, you will be blessed. And if you are pregnant ladies, you will be able to deliver your baby successfully. And if you are a fisherman, then you are able to fish a lot all year round. And will never have to deal with any of the rigor out there at sea.
It looks so much bigger from the other side, the other shore, just because the blackness of the rocks. So I guess this is my first sea cave. Race.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Be careful. Don't slip.
I know.
Don't dislocate your joints and ankles.
That last one, there's no promises. Hi. You're gonna have to go like that way.
Okay, let's head back, babe. Otherwise, we won't be able to get out of here.
It's now 5:30 p.m. and it will get completely dark soon, so we need to start heading back, closing our first day full of adventures in Quy Nhơn city. Tomorrow is our last day in this city, and we're gonna take you to all of the historical and cultural sites in Bình Định province to make our journey here complete. However, that'll be all in the next episode. So if you enjoyed our first part here in Quy Nhơn and don't want to miss out on the next episode, please help support us by liking this episode and subscribing to our channel so you'll get notified for new releases. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again in the next one.